Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here. We do have game number 2 here between MaSa and iNkA. This time we are here on Tal'Darim Altar. We have MaSa spawning as the purple Terran player down over here in the lower right-hand position, and then in the upper left, iNkA as the teal Protoss player. So yes, game number 2 in this series between these two players. We did see iNkA with a strong showing last game, so just some very strong harass and really messing up MaSa's economy. The biggest problem too last game is that MaSa just really didn't do any economic damage at all to iNkA, and that's something that really put him in a very tough position as we moved into the mid and later stages of the game. So MaSa appears to be moving out, and looks like with that initial SCV, he will be formulating at least the start of a wall-off here, coming out that depot. A very interesting decision. If he does go for that full wall-off, it's going to mean that he will be attempting to hide some tech from iNkA. That's pretty much the only reason to really wall off against a Protoss opponent, is that you are trying to tech up and hide it from them. We do right now have iNkA moving out with the probe scout. He will first be checking that upper right-hand position. While we are still in the early stages of the game, I like to use this time to try to plug some things. I want to let you know that I did do a dual commentary today with Cricket from Cricket StarCraft, and it's from actually a tournament that he's working and organizing and helping produce. So go ahead and check that out. That series will be up on my channel probably later, some point after posting this series here. So of course, go ahead and take a look at that. It was a lot of fun to do dual commentary, something that I haven't done in quite a while. I certainly enjoyed it. Cricket being a great caster as well. So please go ahead and take a look for that once it does eventually get uploaded. Alright, so MaSa looks to be a relatively standard opener so far. 10 depot, 12 racks, and 13 refinery appears to be the case here for MaSa. Now back over here inside of iNkA's base, relatively standard stuff. He's chrono boosting through his workers. Gateway is almost done. There's that second pylon as well, and as we can see, iNkA managing to get the scout inside of MaSa's base. Really not a whole lot that he can do about that. He's coming out with that initial marine, and once that is out, that's going to force that probe to hightail it out of here. Now we did have 2 SCVs move down. Looks like one of them will start off building this supply depot. The second SCV is moving to that upright position to begin the scouting. Probe sitting idly right now, and here's that first marine. Will be forcing that probe back, and ooh, look at that. He started dropping the attachment and then canceled it. So it looks like at the moment, iNkA will be expecting the attachment there in that tech lab, the tech lab there on that racks. However, it was canceled, and I'm assuming, look at that, right up to a factory. So MaSa might very well be seeing here a timing push. We're going to be very interested to see what he ends up deciding to do. We'll be coming out with another depot to try to, again, get this wall off and hide the fact that he is teching up and that there is no attachment on that rack. So very interesting play there by him. Something you see every now and then, you'll let your opponent scout you when they're in your base, and you'll show them one thing and then stop doing that and then immediately move on to the other. And it wasn't that detrimental to MaSa, because it's not like he was very far along in building the attachment either. He just dropped it as soon as the probe pulled away, canceled it immediately, and there you go, he was all set. Now we do have the first stalker out, and it looks like MaSa's SCV will get taken care of very shortly. There we go, one more shot, and the stalker takes him out. Second stalker coming through, so we will be seeing some stalker play early on. iNkA may just be trying to get some center at map control. However, early game stalker harass can be very, very strong, especially in this current position, given the fact that we do have, coming out from MaSa, all he is doing right now is early marines. That's all he's got at the moment, although coming out with this bunker will be more than enough to prevent that early stalker harass from doing much of anything. Very notable, of course, is that we do have that factory on that reactor and are coming out right now with those double Hellions. Also, Tech Lab finally getting placed down on the racks here for MaSa. Now, will he be coming out the starport? That's a question. Or does he have other things in the works? Coming out with some more of the double Hellions right now. First 2 on the map. Here comes out a Marauder as well. Might be seeing some upgrades for those. We do have that probe scout trying to push on in. That will get taken care of very quickly by the Marines inside of that bunker. So there you go. Probe doesn't get any scouting down whatsoever. Now back over here for iNkA, what does he have planned? Well, at the moment, we'll be sitting on 3 gateways, so it looks like iNkA will be doing 3-gate expand this game. Very comfortable with that build, pretty solid build as well in PvT. So here comes that Nexus expansion. We'll be sitting somewhat sentry heavy as well. Should be turning those into warp gates sometime soon and working his way on through. A couple stalkers though, trying to deal with those Hellions. So there we go. Now he knows Hellions are coming across the map, and still dropping the expansion even after spotting those Hellions, realizing he doesn't have much of a choice. Will be attempting to come off with some sort of a wall off. It's going to allow him to drop a force field right here and try to prevent them. There we go, force field coming down. We'll need a couple more sentries in here. Actually come out with some stalkers to try to actually just push back those Hellions. Obviously the stalker very, very strong. We get those 2 stalkers coming from the center of the map to take care of it. Stalkers getting right up in the main though, and oh no, a bunch of stalkers blocking off those 2. We do still have 2 in the main. We are going to see iNkA try to engage those with the workers. However, coming down with another warp in of stalkers should be able to deal with that finally. Forced to engage with some more workers, and I need to be very careful about taking too much loss here. And finally killing off that one Hellion. This Hellion is going to get taken care of very quickly. Still trying to do as much damage as possible. However, finally, that does get taken care of. Let's take a look here. Total of 10 kills. MaSa able to get 10 probe kills there. Very, very impressive indeed. That is going to set iNkA behind economically. Let's take a look at the income tab. And yes, as expected, he is pretty far behind right now. Follow-up looks to be a timing push coming out, apparently from MaSa, coming out with the Marines. Marine Heavy, he's got some Marauders in the mix there as well, but also coming out with the Siege Tanks and Siege Tech. Now we're going to be seeing a counterattack here from iNkA moving out. Very, very Stalker Heavy. Got a couple sentries moving there as well with that probe. Probe will be dropping the proxy pylon. iNkA needs to be careful, though. Siege Tech's going to be very close to finish. He will have a difficult time walking up against that bunker right now, especially once that Siege Tech gets up. MaSa is going to be in a very strong position. Really not sure that iNkA is going to be able to engage this. As soon as that Siege Tech finishes, it's just going to be one more second. iNkA still hasn't dropped that proxy pylon. There we go, finally dropping the proxy pylon. Get ready to engage. Siege Tech is finished. Will he be using it or not? Trapped out of position from those force fields, and those Marines taking some pretty heavy losses right now. iNkA's push looking to be relatively strong. Still not sieging up. He just wants to use those tanks for their normal DPS. Should be dropping and salvaging that bunker. And there we go, actually forced to cancel the pylon. And MaSa managing to push back. iNkA's forces killing off the sentry as well. iNkA turning around, and he's going to get sandwiched right now. He's in a tough position. We've got the tanks sieging up, although that's an out of position. I don't expect those Stalkers moving in. That's going to be very careful. There we go. Oh no, walking right into that tank fire. Heavy, heavy losses there for iNkA. Take a look here at the unit loss tab. iNkA incredibly far behind where MaSa is right now. MaSa will be coming out with a counterattack. I fully expect that. 3 more gateways getting dropped for iNkA. Doesn't have a robo, so we'll just be sitting on 6 gates now. I don't think he's going to have enough in time and preparation for this push that's coming out right now. MaSa sticking on the one base, just massing up the forces. He does have that starport in construction right now, building some more tanks as well, having everything rallied across the map right in front of iNkA's base. And this is a very, very dangerous situation. You can see everything is rallied right over here. This is an incredibly difficult situation right now for iNkA. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to survive this. He does need to try to get some force fields to try to prevent these from walking up the ramp. Don't think it's going to happen though. Tanks sieging up, attempting to come to the force fields. However, on the high ground, those Marines gaining vision to those tanks on the low ground, and he's going to be shelling out that expansion. And right now we do have MaSa in a tremendous position. He can do a lot of damage right now, and unfortunately there isn't a lot it looks like iNkA can do about it. He's taken heavy losses already. He just does not have the army size to be able to contend. Look at this, 18 army supplies opposed to a 47, and iNkA getting ready to lose this expansion with nothing he can do about it. He just lacks the army size to be able to deal this, and MaSa setting up shop with bunkers here as well, and see you later. iNkA pretty much a goner right now, sitting on one base now with 6 gateways, robo coming through, but there's nothing he's really going to be able to do anytime soon to break this contain. All those workers getting shelled out, Stalkers and Zealots trying to push forward. Too many tanks, too much splash damage, and forced to call the GG. MaSa started this game off with a wall off, moving into quick Hellions, of course utilizing the wall off to hide his tech. Meanwhile, we saw iNkA go with a 3-gate opening, moving right into expansion. MaSa then moved out with those initial 4 Hellions, attempting to do some economic damage. He was initially blocked here by the sentry, however, unable to stop 2 from getting in during that second push. MaSa was able to move back in, and with the 2 Hellions sneaking into the base, he was able to do quite a bit of economic damage, killing off a total of 10 workers. iNkA then moved out for a counter push. However, he simply lacked the forces off of 3 gateways to deal with the strong one-base play that we were seeing from MaSa. We did have siege tanks in play as well, and although he was able to trap the forces on the other side of that force field and do a bit of damage to those initial Marine numbers, MaSa simply had way too much, as well as having that tech advantage with that siege tech. We're going to see the Stalkers walk right into that line of fire for a quick loss of units. MaSa then pushed out with his counterattack, and again, this was just way too strong of a one-base push from MaSa. There's really nothing iNkA had to deal with it, especially given his heavy economic loss and the fact that he took heavy damage during his counterattack as well. Pretty quick and decisive victory here for MaSa, and that, of course, was game number 2. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed the second game between iNkA and MaSa. We will be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. We are, of course, tied up 1-1. Stay tuned for game number 3. As always, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.